What do you think of that, Patrice? Rashford out for a long time, it seems. Should there be an urgency now for Manchester United to get a striker?
Even before that, I think when Lukaku left, Sanchez left, we never replaced them. So I'm not waiting for the injury of Marcus to buy now another striker. We should have done that months ago.
Why do you think Manchester United haven't done that then?
I'm not working with the board right now, so I don't know. But I know as a United team, when you want to win the league, you need 4 best striker. And actually, we only got Martial. So, yeah, I'm a little bit worried.
What do you think, Roy?
Oh, it's bad news, you know. It's on the back of a bad result. Spoke about Rashford, been a brilliant player, but it's a big loss to United. And I'm always intrigued when clubs talk about getting players in and strikers. Where do they think they're going to get these strikers in January? You know, there's not many top strikers out there. United having a difficult spell, they'll have to get through it, but that's a big blow, Rashford.
Is there an urgency because there is still a chance of getting into the top 4?
Well, that should be the target for United, because we look where Tottenham are, Arsenal, Chelsea. Obviously looks like Liverpool, City and Leicester. But yeah, there's that opportunity to get in the 4th position. But you know, they're short of the numbers. But again, where do you get these players from? They have to go and pay a top dollar, and if these top players, they're not available in January. It's very rare you get a good deal done in January. Ollie said they're not desperate, but they are. They are desperate to get a player in. He literally said it himself. So, but where do you think these players are going to pay from?
And also now the player, they come to United for the money, not for the badge. So it's going to be really difficult. It's going to be really difficult. So, yeah, this is a really, really bad news. Marcus will be out for a while.
But the general view, Jamie, in here has been some encouragement on what Manchester United have shown today. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I don't think Manchester United are actually capable at this moment of actually doing better than what they did. In some ways, I think there's a gulf between the teams. We knew that before they came. Manchester United, it was 1-0 until the last kick of the game. There was probably a feeling before the game it could be 2 or 3-0, and that was maybe from Manchester United supporters. Also, so I think they actually acquitted themselves well, but you can still see the gulf in class on the pitch. And I think all Liverpool needed was a spell of 15-20 minutes in the first half and 1 at the start of the second half. They never killed the game off in that spell. But I think some of Liverpool's football and the way they went about it and the speed of play in those 2 periods throughout the 90 minutes, some of the football was outstanding. And at that time, Manchester United couldn't cope. It was too quick for them. But if you come out of those periods, I think Manchester United did quite well in terms of actually keeping the ball, maybe the final pass. But the Martial chance, I mean, that's not just a good chance. That's a sitter. That has to go in the goal. That has to be 1-1.
But the gap between these two clubs now, Graeme, after 23 games of this season is 30 points. I'm sure Manchester United fans are going to be wondering how and when they can close that gap to Liverpool.
You know, for Man United this time it's transition, new manager, not diving into the transfer market and taking his time and hoping to get the right ones against a team that is a finished article. You know, a team that won the Champions League last year, missed out in the Premier League by a point, dominating the Premier League this year, having won the World Club Championship. It's a team that's more or less a finished article. Of course, Jurgen Klopps wants to keep adding to it and want to keep improving. So the gulf is big at this time, and it's a monster job for Ollie or whoever was manager or is manager of Man United. We're obviously delighted because I don't think that Liverpool are going anywhere anytime soon other than at the top of the league going forward. I know that City will challenge them. Outside of them, I can't see it coming. And I think for Man United, it's going to take how many transfer windows to put that situation right? We'll have to wait and see, but it's a big job, whoever's in charge of United.
Can I just say something? I think that when we talk about Manchester United, we always talk about transfer windows and a new manager comes in, we always need 2 or 3 transfer windows. A massive problem for Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson left is actually, when they've bought players, none of them actually improve. A manager's job is not just a case of actually just buying players off the shelf, or let's get a striker in January, you're trying out who you can get in. It's just like, OK, we've bought this player, he's great, let him get on with it. No one actually improves when they're at the club. I think that's a massive problem. I can't think of a signing that they've made who've come in and actually made a big difference or really improved as a player. Listen, it's still early.
Is that the responsibility of the head coach then?
Yeah, but that's not just Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's coaches that have come before. A lot of them complain about Ed Woodward and is the scouting right and getting the right players in. Manchester United spent a massive amount of money in that time where they haven't won the title in the last 6 or 7 years. But as big a problem as recruitment is actually what happens when they get the club. They're not improving as players.
See, Man United are in a very difficult place. They've not been in this position since, well, when Fergie was there, it didn't happen. Man United, when they buy a player now, they have to come in and be an instant hit. They spend big money because it's Man United. They have to pay a premium because it's Man United. Liverpool now are in a luxury position where they can buy a player like Andy Robertson, like Fabinho, where they sit on the touchline, turn up at Man Utd every day and train and learn what's needed at this football club. Whereas Man United are buying in desperation, and that's not a good place to be.
Can this be solved? Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, ultimately, I suppose we're asking, I mean, he's argued that Jurgen Klopp took 4 or 5 years to get to this point. He wants that time. Given that time, is he going to get Manchester United to where Liverpool are?
We hope so. We hope so. And we keep talking about United to go spend more money and get in the right place. I go back to results. Getting the right characters in. Getting the right characters in who come in and who are comfortable playing for Man United, who are comfortable taking the ball in front of 75,000 people when you're under the cosh, you know. That's where the courage comes in. But we hope Ole gets that opportunity. We've seen other managers doing it. We've seen when you get that opportunity and the few windows that you have to add 1 or 2 players, of course you do. And Klopp's done that. The recruitment in Liverpool over the last 4 or 5 has been fantastic. And yeah, Klopp's gelled it all together. Whether he's actually made some of these players better, I think some have come in and just been outstanding and they've hit the ground running and they've gelled together. And we hope Ole gets that opportunity. He certainly deserves it. I don't know if he's not. He's hardly going to get 4 or 5 years. Sorry.
Deserves it? Why?
Well, why not? Why doesn't he deserve it?
I suppose the argument for Jurgen Klopp would be that he had come into Liverpool. He'd won titles.
He'd won titles at Dortmund. Dortmund are a huge club. Dortmund played in front of 80,000 people. He's won 2 titles there. He didn't win titles with Yeovil. He won with a big club. That's. He was given that opportunity, and his recruitment was brilliant there, and the way they played, and you know, Klopp's.
Well, Ole's at Manchester United. How long would it be before you say he's got to win something?
Probably not a year or 2, Jamie, yeah. But obviously, you look, I try and look at the positive, and I'm as impatient as anybody out there in a critical line. It's nothing to do with Ole, because I played with Ole. I said that about the previous managers, said about David Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho. Why are they chopping and changing all the time? At some stage, you've got to look at a manager and say, listen, we're going to give him what... He probably won't get the 4 or 5 years, I know that, but you try and look at the positives, what he's trying to do with the club. He deserves the way he's fronted up. He fronts up, and people always criticise Ole for his personality and his happy-go-lucky. He's a really good guy. There's nothing wrong with that. He can't be somebody he's not. And his club today, his team, if you were manager of that team today and you in the dressing room afterwards, you'd be going, United done well. They've done well today. I know they're up against we almost said before the game, a great Liverpool team. They're not a great Liverpool team. They're a brilliant team. And they put up a good fight today. Give the man an opportunity. He deserves it.
But Roy, the standards you had as Manchester United, and when I've heard you talk about Manchester United in the past, and even at times this season, and you're actually saying Man United did well today.
I thought the performance was okay today, Jimmy, yeah. I thought they'd done well. I thought in terms of... they're stuck at it. They're stuck at it. We've said all before the game, nobody was betting on Man United to win today. We know they're up against it. Just like when we came here, when Liverpool were mid-table, but they always put up a fight against us. But no, Liverpool have come through that spell.
You know, if you're saying that the managers should have been given more time and they've changed the model and they've done different things, I totally agree with you. Well, what is the big problem for Manchester United? If it's not the managers that have come in, what is the problem why they're so far behind?
I think it's part of everything, Jamie. I think if Ole was sitting here now, where you have a private chat, I'm sure Ole would say, yeah, he needs to do better. They're not winning enough football matches, and ultimately he will pay the price for that. But I don't think not after a year. And I look at United over the last few months, they will be inconsistent. They're going with younger players. They haven't won injuries. They've got Pogba in the background who's been a nuisance. You know, you've got to get rid of these people at your club. And that doesn't happen overnight.
Well,
players are running the show.
Let me come in on that, Patrice. Do you think that's fair that Roy is signalling out Paul Pogba?
No, but to be fair, like, Paul, when he's playing, people blame Paul. When he's not playing, people blame Paul. But I understand, like, sometimes I don't agree with Roy, but when you are like a problem for the club, because I just feel that, like, you know, I give my example. When I kicked that fan in Marseille, the owner and the manager, they come and they say, Patrice, what are we going to do now? I say, I'm leaving. I don't want to bring any negativity around the club. And right now, maybe it will be time for Paul to leave, because it's always like, I remember when it was a big game, Liverpool against Manchester United, people were talking more about Jose Mourinho and Paul Pogba. This is insulting. For the biggest club, two biggest clubs in the world, you're talking about one player and one manager. That's one, like, I think sometimes it's time. You just, like, leave, because when you're playing, they blame you. When you're not playing, they blame you also. I think Paul, maybe he already said to Man United he want to leave, and they don't let him go.
The one bit I would be critical, I look at United and I still look at their squad of players, way behind Liverpool, way behind Man City. But I still think if you gave me the group of players, this Man United group of players, for wherever they're short, I still think they should be ahead of Chelsea and Leicester. Obviously, Arsenal have gone off the boil. I still think the group of players should be doing better.
See, by saying that, then you'd have
Yeah,
to
but the
say you're being
inconsistencies,
critical.
Graeme, is the inconsistencies I'm saying is because they've got young players.
But then you
and
have
that
to
brings us
direct some
problems.
criticism at the manager. I think the manager, you touched on it, was it in commentary afterwards? I think that's as good as United can be.